This 1 hour training will include the webinar where we're going to go through the steps on copying a Canvas course. And we'll have some time for questions, and you'll have some work time as well built into this hour. So you should be able to kind of go through the steps that we'll go over, and we will be here to answer questions for you in the chat window. And again, as we go through, please note that we are recording this session to make it available for others later, and to use the chat feature as we go through. My name is Brenda Gillis. I am one of the Tech and Innovation coaches for the district. And then Mike Gizzo, another Tech and Innovation coach, is going to be monitoring the chat feature. Please give us up to 48 hours to get the recording of this session linked in the professional development booklet, that Canva link that you see there on your screen. Mike's going to give you a quick overview of how these Canvas PD trainings are set up for this year.
Thanks, Brenda. So just before we get started, I did want to just take a moment to let you all know how we've kind of organized the Canvas PDs specifically for the next 2 weeks of training. So you'll notice when you look at the PD link, there should be a specific topic next to each of the Canvas trainings. We realize that, you know, to dive into Canvas as a whole and try and get a training on a large group of topics at once can be overwhelming for all of you and honestly for us as well. So we're really going to try and focus on the topic that's listed on the training. So if you guys could just look through that PD booklet, after the few introductory ones, you can just kind of pick out which ones you think that you need the most personally in order to get started this year. I think that's a great way to look at it. Again, we will do our best to answer any questions that you put in the chat. It will be a bit easier for us if they're related to the topic that we're discussing. Brenda's going to do a walkthrough of each topic at the beginning of each of the Canvas trainings. And again, every one of these trainings is designed with significant work time built into the training. So if the training takes 15 minutes or 30 minutes or 45 minutes, you know, we round out the hour with work time for you to practice. I'm gonna pop right now our email address into the chat window. If for some reason we aren't able to address one of your questions, or if you have something that's like super like personal and specific to your Canvas itself, you can just go ahead and email us and we will certainly get back to you as soon as possible. In the chat window, if it's like a broad question related to the topic, you can send that, you can post that message to everyone. If it's more specific and really you think related just to you personally and may not benefit the entire group, it would be great if you could just send me a message directly. So you can just, where it says to everyone, you can click there and you can find my name. Again, it's Michael Gizzo, and you can just message me directly in there. And with that, I am going to turn it back over to Brenda, and she's going to go over this session's topic with you. Brenda?
All right, thanks. Let me just get out of my present mode here. Okay, so today this session's focus is going to be on copying a previous course. And I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you. If you are relatively new to Canvas, I just went in through my plan and clicked on my Canvas link. So logged into my plan, clicked on Canvas, formerly known as MyConnect. That is, MyConnect is a Poway unified branding. We're moving back to Canvas so that everyone has access to the Canvas guides, which are updated and maintained by Canvas. So all those, how do I import a picture into my Canvas page? You can just Google that now, and they have videos and step-by-step guides that they keep up to date. So hopefully that is providing you all with more up-to-date resources than we can keep up with as they continually make improvements to the program. So I'm on my Canvas dashboard. A couple things here. If you're not seeing a course that you want to see on your dashboard, you can click on this little courses button over in the global navigation, scroll all the way to the bottom, click on all courses. And the course cards that appear on your dashboard are the ones that have the highlighted stars in them. So if you have a course there that you want to show up on your dashboard, you're going to want to click on the star to highlight that course. The other thing we're going to see here are our courses that are currently in past enrollment. So these would be your courses from last year or the year prior to that. So the 2019-20 school year and the 2018-19 school year courses. The 2018-19 school year courses, probably in about January, you'll start getting emails from us that we will be purging the system. So you get a year and a half's worth of courses that will stay in your Canvas before we clear them out. We send out, I think, at least 3 emails letting you know which courses, but you will always have a full year and a half of the prior year. So last year's courses will be there until January of next school year. All right. A couple other Canvas updates that we want you to be aware of before we go through the copying a course steps, and they're pretty quick, so you'll have work time and time to ask any additional questions. We'll probably be able to go through the process a couple of times. If you want to walk through it with us as you're watching, please note that you can minimize your Zoom window and kind of push it off to the side and open another browser window and be working in Canvas as you're watching on Zoom as well. So you're just kind of minimizing and toggling and adjusting the screen size so you can kind of split screen on your one screen. All right, so let's go ahead and go through how to get to your past courses and then make a copy of that course for editing this year. The process for this year, we're already seeing a lot of questions. So we will share a link for you with all of these steps and links. But just so you know, we're going to go through copying a previous year's course. Then you have time to edit. You can customize your master course to get ready for the upcoming school year. When you get your district created course shell, which will be close to the student start date, but know that you can be working right now in this master course and editing and getting ready for next school year. And then once you get the district created shell that'll come with all of your students and parents pre-populated in it, you can then just copy the content from this master course into that course with your students, okay? And I'll get this link, pop this link into the chat for you in just a second. Your copy done. Okay, so I'm gonna get that link into the chat for you, and we'll go ahead and go through the steps. So from my dashboard, I'm looking for last year's course. From my dashboard, I'm clicking on courses, scrolling down to all courses. Okay, and from here, I'm going to scroll down. Hopefully you don't have this many Canvas courses in there. Lots of practicing here. I'm going to scroll down to the section called Past Enrollments. When you find the course that you want to make a copy of, you're just going to click on that course. So this has opened my previous year's course. I'm going to scroll down to the bottom left-hand side of the in-course menu and click on Settings. Over on the right-hand side, I'm going to see a button that says Copy this course. I'm going to click on that. and then I'm going to rename it. So whatever you want to call it, maybe it's your geography class, or maybe it's your second grade class. Something that's going to designate it as your master course or what you're working on for this upcoming school year, so that you have identified that for yourself, because you're going to need to know that name when you go to import this content into the shell you get from the district. You also have the option of whether or not you want to import all of the content from that course, or if you only want specific content. I'm going to pull in all of it right now. Mike and I'll kind of scroll through the chat and see if there are people interested in just in that process. It's just slightly different for selecting specific content. So I'm going to go for all content and create course. You'll see that it's running down here, and it has completed when I click to home. Here is this copy of this course that I just made. I can now edit it and update it for the upcoming school year.
Brenda, once you're done with that copy, I did have a couple people just ask to see a couple of those steps again, if possible. So if you
yeah, absolutely. I will run through that whole process again right now. And then maybe we'll give you guys a couple minutes, and then we can come back and run through the one that you will do once you get your district shell. They're both pretty quick, but there's some pieces in there. So from opening Canvas, I'm just going to run through this whole copying a course piece again. So from my homepage, and usually when you open Canvas, it opens right onto your dashboard. So I'm just going to head back to that so we can all start from there. I'm going to click on the courses button, which is right underneath the dashboard icon in the global navigation. I'm going to scroll down to all courses. And then in my all courses list, I'm going to scroll down. You shouldn't be this far down to the section called past enrollments. Once I get to past enrollments, I'm going to select the course that I want to copy. I've now opened that past course. I'm going to scroll to the bottom of the in-course menu. I'm going to click on settings. So I've opened my previous course, and then I'm clicking on settings. Over on the right-hand side, I'm now going to see an additional menu, and one of my options is to copy this course. I'm going to click on copy this course. I'm going to retitle it with something that I will recognize as my course content that I want for this coming school year. Using the word master in front of the course title, or for 2020, whatever you want to call it. I am then going to select all content, it's a default there, and then click on create course. You'll see that it's the title of the course is listed here under current jobs. It's in the queue to run that import for me. And as soon as that finishes, I will be able to click back on the home button, verify that I'm in that master course. You'll see it's running now.
Brenda, when that runs, I've had a couple questions related to dates, like if teachers should update the dates in the course.
Okay, for the master course, it's really not going to make that much difference for you, but you can absolutely delete the dates. If you're copying last year's course and you have due dates and things, I would recommend removing dates. We can go back to that page. Okay, so. I'm just trying to get to a, a course that I know a title of. So similar to when we did copy the course, and if I click on all content, I would recommend you can shift dates. So you could go to change the beginning date to the current school year. So if we wanted to go to, oops. And update that date to change the, and then you could just delete the ending date. You don't need to have one in there. You also, and that will kind of bump your school calendar to flow with, I guess I should like be a little bit more accurate here, right? They're starting on the 2nd. Bump any dates that you have with assignments to line up with that. But because holidays change and things move around, if you have a lot of due dates in there, you might want to just select remove dates. And then you can always go into your assignments and your quizzes and things and just update, add in the due dates for those things. If you do shift dates, you're probably going to get a little bit closer to what your due dates or timeframes were in the past. But either way, you're probably going to have to do some updating, and then just click import. So that will remove all of the dates from your assignments, or if you chose the shift dates, we'll bump them based on that beginning date. You'll see this import that we just ran. It says it has some issues here. You can always click there to see what they are. They're usually like missing links. So you would just want to go through and update the links that were there. And then when I click back to home, this is my copy for me to edit. So I can always go into the editing bar and make changes and updates to that page. All right, how are we doing, Mike?
I think we're doing pretty well.
Okay.
I'm going through it.
I can just hop in the chat, and if you notice any patterns or anything we can address as a whole group again, just let me know.
Absolutely.
I will be in the chat answering questions. So feel free to mute us or turn off your camera if you want, and do some work, and then pop back in the chat if you have any questions.